Hello, 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 God's beautiful and most precious people. I pray that you are well in the Lord today. So I am back today with another word of from the Lord, from the Holy Spirit, and the word of the Lord today is "Let me in." Let me in. And this word is coming from Revelations 3:15, verse 15 through verse 20, the NLT version. And it reads, I know all the things you do, that you are neither hot nor cold. I wish that you were one or the other. But since you are like lukewarm water, neither hot nor cold, I will spit you out of my mouth. You say I am rich. I have everything I want. I don't need a thing. And you don't realize that you are wretched and miserable and poor and blind and naked. So I advise you to buy gold from me, gold that has been purified by the fire. Then you will be rich. Also buy white garments from me, so you will not be shamed by your nakedness, and ointment for your eyes, so you will be able to see. I correct and I discipline everyone I love. So be diligent and turn from your indifference. Look, I stand at the door and knock. If you hear my voice and open the door, I will come in and will share a meal together as friends with you. So this morning I was sitting down and I was talking to my kids and about God and about some other things that needed to be discussed. And my son, he asked me, as I was explaining to them about the lukewarm and about being hot or cold, which I've explained this to them before. And so I just felt like it needed to be refreshed in their minds. And so he asked me the question. He said, what if evil and good are the same? They measure out to be the same. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, what if you're good and you're bad equals the same amount? And I said, that's not possible. I said, that's not possible. I said, because one of them has to outweigh the other. I said, you can't have the same amount of good and evil within you. I said, good has to outweigh either the bad, or the bad has to outweigh the good. I said, think about it. When you have a scale, I said, when you see that scale, it's right there and it's balanced. I said, but when you put something in that scale, it either goes up or down. I said, it goes up or down. I said, so you have to think about good and evil like that, hot and cold. I said, you can't have a balance of both. That's not possible. I said, because God said that light has overcome darkness. And darkness and light cannot dwell in the same room. Wickedness and wickedness and good, righteousness have nothing in common. Nothing in common. They can't even dwell in the same place together. One has to outweigh the good. So when you, and I also explained to them, I gave them another example. I said, when you go and take a bath, which do you prefer, hot or cold water? And they said hot. I said, okay, so that outweighs, one outweighs the other. I said, okay, when you think about water and you want cold water to drink, I said, what do you want? You want hot or cold water? And they said cold. I said, okay, it outweighs, one outweighs the other. I said, so when you want your food, I said, do you want your food to be served hot or cold? And they said hot. I said, okay, when you think about milk to drink, do you want your milk to be cold or hot? And they said cold. I said, okay, so when you think about life and when you think about the ways of good and evil and bad and good and light and darkness, I said, when you think about this world, darkness is consumed with darkness. I said, and Jesus was the light of the world. God had to send his son into the world to share its light, to know what it felt like to be loved, to be healed, to be delivered, to be set free, to have stability, to have wholeness, to have peace, to have joy, to have strength, to have provisions, to have their needs met. And God is saying right now, in the midst of the situation, the pandemonium, your problems, the trials, your tribulations that you're facing, you're right here in the middle. You're lukewarm. And this is not a time to be lukewarm. You have to be either hot or cold. God said, I would prefer. Jesus said, I prefer for you to be either one. But you can't be in the middle. God says you can't serve two masters. You have to choose either one or the other. You have to choose. You can't serve me and money. You have to choose one or the other. And God says that because you're right here in the middle, I want nothing to do with you. I spit you out of my mouth. And I told my children, I said, when you think about people, you spitting something out of your mouth, or anyone for that matter, spitting anything out of their mouth, what does that feel like to you? And they said, disgusting. I said, so just imagine God spitting you out of his mouth, how his face looks. You know, I can't even fathom God spitting me out of his mouth. I don't want that to happen. I want to know and experience God's love, to experience his truth, his ways, his light. I want to know what it is to live, to have that freedom, to have that wholeness. And I told my children that this is not the time for us to just be allowing Jesus, because Jesus is right now at the door knocking, saying, here I am. Let me in. I want to come in and I want to be your friend. I want to sit down and I want to have an intimate moment with you. I want to be able to sit down and eat with you and call you my friend and know what's going on with you. I want to be in relationship with you. I want for you to be able to share your secrets with me, to be open with me, to be able to know what it feels like to have someone to listen to you, to understand, and to know what it is that you are experiencing, the trials and tribulations that you are facing, your circumstances, your situations right now. Because that's what I am to you. I'm your friend. I am your friend, and it's a privilege to be able to call Jesus your friend in these troubling times. But there are some people right now in the midst of all this that are just sitting there and they're letting him knock at the door. They're saying, no, I don't have time right now. Come back. Come back. Because you feel like that you have time to get yourself together, that you got time to go out and live your life and do what it is that you want to do. Just like these people. They said, I don't need nothing. We good. I got what I need. I got everything that I need. And God says, no, you don't. Because right now you miserable. You wretched. You blind. You can't even see. And God is saying, what I need for you to do is, I need for you, because I'm not putting a price on what it is that you get from me. What I'm giving to you, the gift of life that I'm giving to you, there's no price, because my son has already paid the high price for you. And that can never be repaid. No matter how much, we can never give God enough to repay what Jesus did for us. And God is saying, you can't put no price on that. But what I need for you to do is, I need for you to come buy gold from me, because this gold you ain't never experienced before. This gold has been purified. It's been tried by the fire already. It's the purest of pure. And I'm willing to give that to you. I'm willing to share that with you. God says, go and buy white garments to cover your nakedness, so you don't have to feel the shame of the world anymore. You don't have to feel the embarrassment, the humiliation of the things that people say about you, the things that people do towards you, how they feel about you, how they see you. And God is saying, I'm willing to cover you. I'm willing to cover all your shame, all your filth, all your dirtiness with my pure garments. He's saying that take this ointment, take this anointed oil and put it on your eyes, just like Paul. Paul was dead. He was blind, physically and spiritually. And then when God gave him his eyesight back, he said, I was once blind, but now I see. And when you saw Jesus heal those who were blind, what did he do? He took his spit for one person. And he took some dirt, some clay, and he rubbed it. He mixed it together. And he put it on this man's eyes. And he said, go over there and wash in that water. Go wash your eyes with that water. And then after 3 times, he said his eyes were open. He said, I can see. And God is saying, this is what I want. Because see, right now you blind. Right now you dirty, you miserable, you wretched. You can't even see what's going on around you. You can't even see what's to come. And God is saying, I'm willing to give you all of this for nothing. You ain't got to do nothing, because Jesus has already done that for you. He said, those who I love, I discipline, I correct. Everything I do It's for your good. It's all working together for your good, for those who love God, who are called according to his purpose. And God says, just because I discipline you, just because I correct you, just because I give you constructive criticism, does not mean that I don't love you. He said it means totally the opposite. It means because I love you with an infinite love, with a never-ending love, with an unfailing love. And I want to see you live the best of the best with the best of the best. And you ain't got to do nothing but let me in. Because I'm standing right now and I'm knocking. I'm knocking. Here I am. Let me in. Let me in. Because I want to come have a meal with you. I want to come and I want you to say, I've been going through all this. I've been going through all this. And I had nobody. Everybody turned against me. Everybody left me. Nobody wanted to hear what I had to say. Nobody cared about me. Nobody cared about how I feel, what I'm going through, what I'm experiencing. I'm at the lowest low point in my life. And Jesus said, lift your head up, son. Lift your head up, daughter. Because all you need is me. Because you let me in. Because you were willing to let me in. I'm going to take care of you. I'm already taking care of you. I'm already providing for you. I love you. I'm going to love you. I'm going to pour out my love. I'm going to pour out my spirit. You don't have to worry about anything. Weeping endures for a night, but joy comes in the morning. And God is saying that because you let me in, Jesus is saying because you let me in, the windows of heaven have opened for you. An outpouring of my love has been poured out up on you. I have clothed you in my white garments. I have opened your eyes. I have stripped away that filth, that shame, that nakedness. You no longer have to be worried about being lukewarm because you decided to open the door and let me in, my child. Everything that you need is right here within me. I've given you access to my treasuries, my open treasuries in heaven, because I am the creator of the heavens and the earth and everything that lies within it. You have access to all of that now. You will not go without. You will not want for nothing. Now, because you have accepted my gold that has been purified by the fire, you are rich. You are rich now. And God is saying, open the door. You have opened the door and let him in. I don't want to spit you out of my mouth. I'm calling you into deeper relationship with me, into deeper intimacy with me. I'm calling you because I chose you. I chose you because there's greater works for you to go and do. God says greater is he within you. Greater is his spirit within you than the spirit that is in the world. I told my children, I said, if God is the only thing that you have everything that you need, because God is everything in one. He is your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your uncle, your cousins, your nieces, your nephews. He is all of those things in one person. And God is saying that because you chose to let me in, because you gave me access, now you have access to everything that I have access to. And you no longer have to worry. You no longer have to cry yourself to sleep. Because I'm up and I'm working 24/7, 365 days. I'm up. I never sleep. I never slumber. I've given you now keys to heaven. I've given you now keys of David. To open doors no man can close, and close doors no man can open. Whatever you bind on earth, I will bind it in heaven. And whatever you loose in heaven, I will loose it on earth. And I will manifest it into your life, into the physical, because you released it into the spiritual, into heaven. It was released through your prayers, through your worship, through your praise. Now it has manifested into the physical, into your life. God cares for you. And he said now that you have let him in, he's going to show you just how much he cares for you, how much he loves you, how much he adores you. The wholeness comes from God and God alone. God said, I'm feeling every void in your life, every wretched place. I'm feeling it. I'm restoring it. I'm redeeming you. I've cleansed you. I've purified you by the fire. Restoration can only come from me. Total restoration, true restoration can only come from me. You let me in. And now see what I do for you. Now see how your life will be different, will be changed, will be renewed, refreshed, and restored in me, through me. See how my glory will be revealed in you and through you. God says, because you have been purified by the fire, because you have been refined, because you decided to let him in, he's placing you in that platform. He's placing you on that platform for the world to see his glory, his masterpiece, just like a jeweler who has finished cutting and stripping away the dross off of that jewelry and places in his little case to be showcased. God is saying, I've given you a platform for the world to see my work, because I take pleasure in what I do. I take pride in what I do. And now the world will see. They will no longer see the old Allegra. They'll see the new Allegra. They'll see the God in you. They'll see the good in you. They'll see the righteousness in you. They'll see the pureness in you, the wholeness in you, the peace in you, the joy in you, the strength in you, the love in you, the kindness in you, the goodness in you. They'll see my mercy being revealed in your life. They'll see my grace upon your life. God loves you. And he said, I'm so glad that you let me in. I'm so glad that you opened the door and you answered the call. I love you guys, and I'm praying for you guys. I have to go because I'm getting emotional. I feel the fire of the Holy Spirit. And woo, yes, and God is saying, I thank you. You'll never be the same after letting me in. You guys be blessed.